Good morning, children. In this video, I'll be discussing the summary of chapter angles. Okay, so we are done with the chapter angles. So I'd like to quickly summarize what are the things that we have learned in this chapter. Okay, so we have started the chapter with the concept of what is a line, what is a line segment, and what is a ray. Okay, so the first thing we have learned is what is a line, what is a line segment, and what is a ray. Okay, so these are the basic things that we have learned. So line can extend till infinity. We do not know what is the end of this line, so it is denoted by double hit arrow. Okay, so this is, if it is written like this, then we should understand that this is a line AB. Okay, now we have something called line segment. So line segment is nothing but just a part, a segment of a line. Okay, so from this line, if we consider this much part, okay, so then this segment is named as line segment, and it is denoted by a single bar. Okay, so line segment is a finite part of a line. Okay, so its measure is finite, it's fixed. Okay, and we have something called a ray, in which one point is fixed. Okay, so we'll be starting our ray from here. So this point A is fixed, but this arrowhead in one end symbolizes that it can extend till any end. Okay, so one end of ray can extend till infinity. Okay, so this is the concept about line segment, and ray. And a ray AB is denoted by a single hit arrow. Okay, so if nothing is written, then this symbol symbolizes that this is a line AB, which is infinite. This is a line segment AB, and this is a ray AB. Okay, so this is what we learned. Now we have concept of what is an angle. So whenever there are two rays, between two rays there is an angle formed. Okay, so we have learned how to name an angle, right? So if you want to name this angle, we'll be using three letters. Okay, not just O, but we'll be using three letters. It can be any way. It can be BOA or AOB. The direction of naming does not matter. Okay, but remember, the angle whichever you are trying to name, it should come in middle. Okay, so middle of the two letters. Okay, so this is how we name the angle and its naming, how to name the angle. Okay, the third thing that we have learned in this chapter is unit of measurement of an angle, right? So we measure an angle in a unit known as degree, and it is written as this. Okay, superscript. Okay, 0 superscript, that is the symbol of degree. And we also have to remember one very important thing here, that a complete round always forms 360 degree, and 1 degree is equals to 60 minute. A minute is denoted by a single vertical line, and 1 minute is equals to 60 seconds. These are the things we need to remember. Okay, so this is universal, not only in class 7. This concept which you have learned is for lifetime. Okay, so it holds true for wherever and whichever time you want to use. This is universal, this is true. Okay, and we have learned what are the various types of angles. Yes, so we have learned different types of angles. So here in types of angles, we have classified angles based on three things. Okay, one is based on measurement. What is the measure of an angle? Second thing, we have classified on the basis of its property. Okay, and the third type of angle we have classified on the basis of its position. Okay, where the angle lies. Okay, based on all these three things, we have classified the angles. We have given the different names. Okay, so we'll be discussing various kinds of angles. So children, I am discussing this summary so as to know whether this whole 1 week of class that we have done is fruitful or not. Okay, so I want all of you to make a note of this summary and see whether you have understood all the things, all the points discussed here or not. Okay. Now I would like to discuss the types of angles based on the three category. Okay, so first is based on measurement. We have various kinds of angles, right? We have acute angle, we have right angle, we have obtuse angle, we have straight angle, there is a reflex angle, complete angle. Okay, so here I forgot to mention something called zero angle also. So zero angle, it's pretty clear that the angle whose measurement is zero is named as zero angle. Okay, we have acute angle. So the angle whose measurement is less than 90 degrees, say whether it is 1 degree, 35 degree, 42 degree, all these angles are named as acute angle. Okay, so the angle whose measure is less than 90 degree is termed as acute angle. The angle whose measurement is equal to 90 degree, okay, which is exactly 90 degree, then it is named as right angle. The angle which is greater than 90 degree and less than 180 degree, like the angle 91 degree, 179 degree. I am giving the examples. Okay, suppose I have 91 degree, 179 degree, 95 degree. All this angle falls in between 90 and 180. Okay, so all these angles are named as obtuse angle. Okay, now I have something called straight angle. So this is the angle here. We have a vertex here, and this is one ray and this is one ray. One ray is this side and one ray is this side. Then the angle between these two rays forms a straight angle. This comes under a straight line. So the straight angle is equal to how many degree? 180 degree. Okay. So straight angle means the angle whose measurement is equal to 180 degree is named as a straight angle. Now we have something called a reflex angle. So reflex angle is the angle whose measurement is greater than 180 degree and less than 360 degrees. So in general, the angle whose measurement lies between 180 and 360 is named as reflex angle. Okay. Now I have a complete angle. Complete means a complete circle. Okay. So this angle, the angle whose measurement is equal to 360 degree is named as a complete angle. Okay. So these are all the type of angles classified based on measurement. Okay. Now we have a second category of classification of angle, that is based on property. Okay, so the property here, the property that we have discussed is sum of angles. Okay, so we have categorized the angles based on its sum. Okay, so we have taken two angles. So we have two categories here. One is complementary angle and supplementary angle. So any two angle whose sum, okay, sum of two angles, the sum of two angles is equal to 90 degree, then these two angles are named as complementary angles. Okay, and sum of two angles, if the sum is equals to 180 degree, then it is named as supplementary angles. Okay, so those two angles have a certain name. Those are supplementary angles and complementary angles. Okay, so if one angle is given and we want to find the complementary of another angle, if an angle is given and if we want to find its complement, then we have a formula that is given in a textbook. And if one angle is given and we want to find the supplement of that angle, then we have a formula there. Okay, so this is how we do. Now we have a third category of classification of angle, that is based on position of the angle. Where does it lie? Okay, so position. So we have two types of angles. So one is adjacent angle and another is vertically opposite angle. Vertically opposite angle. Okay, children, here I want all of you to make a note. When I discussed about vertically opposite angle, I haven't discussed this point, so I want to discuss it here. So vertically opposite angle can even be named as vertical angles. Okay, please do not get confused if you see this term also, vertical angles. Okay, these two are one and the same. Okay, so here adjacent angle, the two angles which lie next to each other. Okay, so next to each other. So for example, this two angles, this and this angle, they lie next to each other. That's why these two angles are adjacent angles. Okay, and in adjacent angle we have learned one interesting property, that is a linear pair. Okay, so linear pair is nothing but the adjacent angle whose sum is equals to 180 degree. If the adjacent angles are in such a way that its sum is equals to 180 degree, then it forms a linear pair. Okay. Now I have something called vertically opposite angles. So if I have two lines, then two angles which share a common vertex and lie opposite to each other, then those two angles are named as vertically opposite angles. So this two angles, this pair of angles is named as vertically opposite angle, and this pair of angles are vertically opposite to each other. So here we have two pairs of vertically opposite angle, and the property that this angle possesses is that the measure of these two angles are equal. Okay, so this angle and this angle are equal in measure, this angle and this angle are equal in measure. Okay, so these things you have to remember. Now this is a new topic, new concept that I want to discuss with you all. So bisector. Okay, so here I have a word called bisect. Okay, so bisect means to divide. Okay, section means to divide, right? So bi means two. So whether it's a ray or a line which bisects, which divides the given angle or a line into two parts, is named as bisector. Okay, so it will be more clear when I explain you this. So I'm going to explain you the bisector of an angle. Okay, so suppose, say this is an angle which measures 60 degree. Okay, so this is an angle measuring 60 degree. Let me name this. Okay, so this angle AOB measures 60 degree. Okay, so any ray, say OC, this is another ray, this is called bisector. Okay, or ray OC is bisector if it divides angle AOB in two equal parts. Okay, remember, the bisector divides the angle in two. Bi means two equal parts. Okay, so this OC becomes a bisector if it bisects this whole angle into two parts whose measurement is equal. Okay, so this OC is bisecting this angle 60 degree. So the measure of this angle AOC will be equals to 30 degree, and the measure of this angle COB will be equals to 30 degree. Okay, so this is what a bisector does. Okay, it divides the given angle in two equal parts. Okay, now I have something called bisector of a line segment. So I have something called bisector of a line segment. Okay, so suppose I have a line segment whose measure is 10 centimeter. Okay, so AB is a line segment whose measure is equals to 10 centimeter. Okay, so if I get another line L, I am naming this line as L, in such a way that this two part, okay, let me name this point as O, the measure of this line segment AO and OB is equal, then this line L is called the bisector of this line segment. Okay, so this gives us to the conclusion that OA will be equals to 5 centimeter and OB will be equals to 5 centimeter. Children, this concept of bisector is very important for us to learn the next chapter. Okay, so next chapter we will be doing is parallel lines. So you need the concept of this bisector. Okay, so that's why I'm discussing this thing with you all. So bisector is any line which divides the given line segment in two equal parts. Okay, so here the line segment given is 10 centimeter. Yes, the measure of the line segment is 10 centimeter. We have got this bisector which divides this line AB in two equal parts. So this part will measure 5 centimeter. This part will measure 5 centimeter. Okay. So this is what a bisector does. Okay. So children, this is all about the summary of the chapter angles. Okay. I would like to request all of you to make the summary of this chapter in your notebook, so that later on when you revise, then that time when you glance the points that you have written in the summary, then it will be very easy for you to do the revision. Okay. So I hope you have understood this chapter. Thank you.